Hi folks, trying something new today. Going to have a look at a cider review. This was brought about really by the New World Cider competition, and this is the gold medal winning champion of the show cider, which is slightly surprising because it's one of the cheapest ciders on the market. This is Scrumpy cider. It's 8.2% alcohol, so right up there as far as certainly New Zealand ciders go. And you're normally looking at about $10 for a 1.25 litre bottle, quite often special down to $9. You can also get it in a 12 pack of 330ml glass bottles. Before we open it up, Harvest Cider is the company that makes this stuff, and they make about 5 different brands of cider. They have the Scrumpy, which is comes in 3 or 4 different flavours, and is the 8.2%. There's a similar range also sold in these big PET bottles called Harvest, which is 4.7% alcohol. They do a Thomas and Rose, which is about 4% fruit flavoured cider in 500ml glass bottles, which I suspect is essentially trying to compete with the Recordlig soft drink or cider, whatever you want to call it. And they also seem to make a couple of varieties under license. They make a Bulmer's English style, which is 4.6 in a 1.5 litre PET bottle, and Strongbow, which again I think is a British brand, 4.7. That comes in 300ml bottles in a 4-pack. So if you go to the website, which is Harvest Cider, it tells you a little bit about it. Not much. It's a pretty basic website. But it does tell you that they're based in Gisborne and it's all made with Gisborne fruit. When I rang them up, they were very helpful, obviously keen cider makers and drinkers. And I'd say that if you're ever in Gisborne, it'd be well worth a visit to the cellar door for a bit of a yarn. There's not too much to this cider. It's basically apple juice from Gisborne, although it is concentrate. It's not freshly crushed, which you'll probably be able to tell when we open it up and pour it out. Yeast and water, that's pretty much it. So let's pour a glass and have a look at it. See, there's a little bit of a head, not much, as is typical of ciders. It's not overcarbonated, but you'll see that it's really pretty pale, and I guess that's a giveaway that it's not made from freshly crushed apples, or at least if it was, it would be very well filtered. But this is made from commercial apple juice concentrate. So what do they say it's supposed to taste like? They reckon it's an intentionally rich apple flavour with a dry finish, which makes it a standout from the many other Scrumpy style ciders. And I have to admit that there are 2 or 3 other brands that have blatantly copied both the name and the bottle style from the Harvest Scrumpy. They certainly seem to have been in there first. It has won a couple of previous awards back in 2013, but like I said, I was surprised to see, given the number of sort of boutique and craft cider companies that there are in New Zealand, that it had taken out the top award. The New World guys, or the New World judges, reckon that this 8.2% cider is a distinctive New World style, not too sweetened with a steely backbone. Offers the crisp appeal of fresh apple juiciness balanced with a zingy tart finish and a clean, lively texture. Fresh and alive and vibrant, said one judge. Beautifully balanced, great structure, excellent acid sugar phenolic balance. Very smart cider, added another. I must admit, I tried a bottle previously and it was pleasant enough, but I certainly wasn't blown away by it compared to some of the other ciders I've been drinking. So I've bought another bottle and going to give it a crack here. And it pretty much confirms my initial reaction, which is that because of the high alcohol content, it's not too sweet, which is a plus because there are a lot of very sickly sweet ciders in the New Zealand market, which is largely a consequence, I think, of the fact that we really don't have many cider apple orchards around these parts, but we do have a massive export apple industry, and so there's a lot of apples which are rejected for export and end up being juiced, and so there's a huge amount of relatively inexpensive apple juice around. So you can definitely taste that that there's a fair bit of alcohol there, and it does cut through the sweetness, but you'd obviously have to be pretty careful using this as a quenching drink on a hot day, because it's at 8.2%, it's pretty close to a weak Riesling wine, and certainly if you drank the whole bottle, you're looking at 8.1 standard drinks. So unless you're an enormous all black or some sort of outdoor woodsman, you're going to be way over the limit if you pile through this. So yeah, it's well worth a try if you find most of the other ciders out there too sweet. There's obviously no faults, or it wouldn't have won a gold medal. There's no off flavours or anything. It just tastes like a very simple fermented table apple drink, which is exactly what it is. It's apple juice and a bit of yeast and some water. I did check, and it is actually fermented out to 8.2%. There's no Mickey Mousing around with apple wine or anything else added. This is just apple juice fermented out, and then a little bit of apple juice back blended in to get the acid sugar ratio right. So yeah, that's what I think. See what you think, and whatever you end up drinking, I hope you enjoy it, and good health.